Picture this. You have a story in your head, a campaign idea, a brand film, a product launch video. You can see it. But the moment you try to communicate it to a director, a designer, or a production team, it falls apart. Words aren't enough. Sketches take days, and briefs get misread. That gap between vision and execution costs creative teams weeks of back and forth, wasted budget, and watered-down work. Today I'm going to show you a tool that closes that gap in under 2 minutes. Every creative professional knows the pain. You've written the script, you know the mood, the characters, the beats, but to actually pre-visualize it, to show someone what shot 3 looks like, what the character's face should carry, where the camera should sit, you'd normally need a storyboard artist, a mood board session, and a day you don't have. A professional storyboard for an 8-panel brief costs anywhere between $500 and $2,000, takes 2 to 5 days to turn around, and still requires revision rounds that push your timeline further. Industry research shows that over 60% of production errors trace back to misaligned creative briefs, not execution failures. Most teams skip the storyboard entirely because of cost and time, and that's where productions go sideways. Miscommunication on set, reshoots, wrong tone, wrong feel. The average video reshoot adds 30 to 40% to a production budget. The Storyboard Creator inside TurboAgents solves all of that from a single text input. Here's what the input screen looks like. There's one primary field called the narrative engine. This is where you paste your raw script or scene-by-scene idea. You can also upload a product visual as a reference image if you want the tool to incorporate your actual product into the frames. Then you choose a duration template. In this case, we're using the 90-second product explainer. And finally, an art direction. We've selected Photorealistic, which means every frame will be rendered with the visual fidelity of a professional film still. The script I've entered tells the story of Harpreet, a 55-year-old farmer in rural Punjab facing a loan rejection, and his daughter Simran, who comes home from the city and fights back on his behalf. It's a human, emotionally grounded story across 8 distinct scenes. Once the inputs are in, I hit Initialize Analysis, and the tool gets to work. The first thing the tool does before it touches a single frame is build a character database. It reads the script, extracts every human character, and generates a photorealistic portrait of each one, styled to match your chosen art direction. What comes back is genuinely striking. Harpreet appears as a 55-year-old weathered farmer, deeply lined face, dusty turban, worn earth-toned kurta, weathered sandals. The visual profile describes him as carrying decades of worry and hard labor. Simran appears beside him, 24 years old, modern, city casual in a cotton kurti and jeans, empathetic and grounded. Her wardrobe note reads, practical and modest, appropriate for traveling from the city to her rural village. These aren't placeholders. These are production-ready character references you can hand directly to a casting director or costume designer. Once you approve the characters, TurboAgents maps the temporal timeline and generates the full director's beat sheet. 8 sequence cells, each covering a specific time window of the film. Camera angle, movement spec, scene description, and dialogue. The story unfolds exactly as written. It opens on Harpreet alone in his wheat field at dawn. Worried face, soft morning light, wide shot holding on his silence. It cuts to the bank, where a rubber stamp slams rejected onto his application and his shoulders fall. Then Simran arrives home, reads her father's face, and opens her laptop. The tool flags shot 04 as a product shot, a close-up tilting from the screen down to their overlapping hands as she fills in the government insurance application and he hovers behind her. The verification officer visits the farm, nods, shakes Harpreet's hand, then shot 06 hits, flagged as another product shot, an extreme close-up on Simran's phone. Claim approved, 4 lakh rupees credited. She sprints into the field screaming. The film closes on Harpreet walking back into that same bank, tall and confident, documents in hand. And the final wide crane shot of the two of them walking through a freshly sown field at golden hour, the narrator saying, "Secure your harvest, secure your future." What you just watched took less than 2 minutes to generate from a text input. No storyboard artist, no mood board session, no back and forth. You walked away with 2 fully rendered, production-ready character references and 8 cinematic frames, each with a camera angle, a movement spec, a scene description, a time code, and dialogue. That's the entire pre-production brief for a 90-second brand film, ready to hand to a director the moment it generates. Think about what that replaces. A freelance storyboard artist typically charges anywhere from $500 to $2,000 for an 8-panel brief. Turnaround is usually 2 to 5 days, and revisions are another round. TurboAgents delivers the same output in minutes, and if you don't like a frame, you regenerate that single shot instantly. The creative control stays entirely with you. If you're a creative director, a brand marketer, a video producer, or a founder who pitches with decks, this tool changes how you communicate visual ideas. It's not a replacement for production. It's the bridge between your imagination and the people who bring it to life. Go to app.turboagents.ai and try the Storyboard Creator today. Paste your next script idea, hit Initialize Analysis, and see your story become a director's beat sheet in real time. Links in the description. I'll see you in the next one.